Hey everybody, Neil Thompson, founder of Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as every bit helps. I want to talk a bit about incorporating storytelling into your technical presentations. I believe I've spoken about this in previous videos, but now I want to give an example of how you can actually do this. And for so long, I didn't even realize that storytelling was even appropriate for technical presentations, but especially if you're talking in front of a non-technical audience, it can make all the difference between people actually listening or not. So just to set things up, when I worked as an engineer, I used to work in orthobiologics, which is using human cadaver bone to make implants. And in this case, they were spinal implants. And as part of my job, I used to have to do testing on samples to determine a certain protein's concentration. So here's what a potential story could be. And the scenario is I'm speaking in front of senior management on a project status update. So here we go. Last time I spoke in front of you all, I didn't have the results for the protein concentration for the samples. And the reason I didn't is because of issues we ran into that have since been resolved. So here's what was the issue. When I did the testing of the samples, I got zeros all around for that protein concentration. I know for a fact that that protein exists in these samples. So I had to figure out why I was getting zeros from the testing. Well, from talking to a previous vendor, I learned of something called protein. What was the term they was used? Protein effect. And what that was is there are certain proteins in the other proteins in the sample that could potentially mask detection of the protein of interest. And so that was really why I was getting these zeros. So I had to do further processing of the samples so that the protein of interest could actually be detected by the equipment that we had. So now I actually do have the samples. But in future, there may be instances where more time may be needed to come up with the concentration numbers because of what's called protein effect, or actually it's called matrix effect. So just for future reference, that is a risk that we'll have to add to our risk mitigation plan in terms of not having the numbers when we want to have the numbers. We can get them, it's just the samples may require further processing. Okay, and therein lies the story. So basically, I spoke about the problem that we had. I spoke about what we did to solve the problem, and then the solution. And what that does is it sets up nicely the expectations of the people you're speaking to as well. In addition to telling this story, now they're actually probably listening to what you had to say, as opposed to just going, well, we didn't have the samples last time and I have them now. But why? What's going to stop this from happening again? And again, you say this in the form of a story. And the story doesn't have to be very long. I mean, the one I just said, I don't know, how long was it? Maybe a minute and a half. It certainly wasn't something extensive, but it put people in the frame of, we're going to listen to what this person is saying, because they're not just spitting out dry data. And people like stories. It goes back to when you were a child. People really like to listen to stories. So whenever possible, couch your data, couch whatever you wanted to tell the audience, especially if it's a non-technical audience, in a story. Hopefully the example I gave was a useful one. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I'm the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as every bit helps. Thanks and have a great day.